Ooh, look at it's my hair. There we go. There we go. All righty. I almost did make it. I almost did make it. I almost didn't make it today. It's crazy because I'm getting ready to. Where is my like I'm missing some of my stuff here. I'm trying to get everything set up. I almost didn't make it because right when I'm getting ready to start the stream, the moment I get ready to start the stream, or not the moment I get ready to start the stream, the moment I get ready to, get everything set up for tonight's stream, my power goes out. And so I'm sitting here and my power goes out. And so some of my stuff is not even set up on my Windows. So if you see me looking around, that's because I got to find stuff that is normally see, I'm not even signed in to my chat. So if I get a message, see, I got to sign in. See, right now I'm literally signing into my chat that should already be signed in. So y'all gonna have to bear with me for a second. And see, now they're doing the yes, it's me. I got to do my two-step verification for signing in. Yes, it's me signing in. Even though I told this thing never, ever, ever, never, ever, ever check. But anywho, hello. How's everyone doing? It's a wonderful Thursday evening. It's me, Charles Austin, the Human Diet Coach, giving you healthy tips to keep your human body healthy for a lifetime. Okay? For a lifetime. YouTube is currently not receiving data for. See, I'm getting all kind of crazy alerts, but everything says I'm green here, so I'm gonna keep growing. Oh, there we go. We got the update. So anyway, it looks like it just did it go off? See, everything was going great today. Oh, okay, now we're good. We're good. I think we're good. Okay, I'm gonna refresh. Sometimes I have to check on my phone, so y'all have to bear with me for a few minutes here. Because I was doing everything was going well, and then all of a sudden, my power went out, and it changed everything. Okay. All righty. So anywho. So hello again. Let's do my intro again. We gotta back up. What's going on? Hello, everyone. My name is Charles Austin. I am the Human Diet Coach. I give you healthy tips to live healthy with your human body for as long as possible. We're streaming live every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Time right here on YouTube. All right. And make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you like the content that's here on the channel, if it helps save your life, if it helps give you a nutritional tip, if it helps you feel better, if it helps you with any of those things, make sure you subscribe to the channel as I adjust my lighting a little bit. And follow me on Facebook at Human Diet Coach. Follow me on Instagram at Human Diet Coach. Follow me on Twitter X at Human Diet Coach. Okay. So real quick, I was having a conversation. I recently shared a reel on Instagram, and I had a couple of questions pop up on Instagram, and I could have sworn that I made a video that already covered some of the basics of diabetes. And so when I looked through my channel, I found out that I didn't have that video. I had a couple of videos on blood glucose and a couple of things, but I didn't get to actually break down diabetes and why it's so dangerous. So I said, hey, what better time to do that than right now? So now after I get done with this stream tonight, which will be soon because my tummy's rumbling. If you've ever seen one of my streams, this is around the time where I get ready to eat. And matter of fact, I'm going to send a text message to a very special person to see if they can assist me with something. There we go. All right. Anywho, so we said, hey, let's go ahead and do a video about diabetes. So without further ado, let's break it down because I don't like to waste time. People are in their evenings. I don't like to waste time. I like to get straight to the point. And if you've never been on a live with me before, if you've never seen any of my videos before, a lot of the stuff that I do here on this channel is I like to share receipts. Okay, so I do a lot of receipt sharing. So you'll see me share my screen a lot, and I do a lot of reading from reputable sources. And then I kind of break topics down a little bit from there. But anywho, so the first thing I want to do before I do anything else and I start explaining how diabetes kills, I want to exactly kind of break down diabetes and explain a couple of things. So what I have right here up is, kind of a overview of type 2 diabetes. Now, before I do this, though, I do want to make sure we understand something. All right. And let's see, where is my window? Yeah. So I do want to make sure, where's my window? There we go. That we understand something first. So if you see me typing or hear me going off to the side, that's because I'm looking something up for y'all so that all of my information is always accurate. I don't like to guess. I don't like to speculate. I like to know. But I believe the most recent data says around 5 or 7% for the number that I'm looking for. But let's see what it says. And you'll see what I mean. There we go. All right. Yeah. So I'm going to slide this over for y'all. And the first thing I wanted to do is make sure we knew that normally when we're talking about diabetes, when you hear the word diabetes, most of the time, 99.9% of the time, we're talking about type 2 diabetes, right? So as it says here, as you can see in the search, what percent of diabetics are type 1? Well, that number is somewhere between 5 or 10%. And I actually, in my experience, in my research, I think that number is actually closer to that 5% number. But let's just say it's 5 to 10%. Either way, we're talking over 90% of cases are type 2 diabetes, okay? And so we're not really going to be talking about type 1 diabetes for this lesson. We're really going to be talking about type 2 diabetes. So when I say diabetes, just understand that I'm referring to type 2 diabetes. So again, what is type 2 diabetes? Lots of people hear this term sugar, my blood sugar, or they might even hear blood glucose or something like that. But long story short, as it says here, type 2 diabetes happens when the body cannot use insulin correctly and sugar builds up in the blood. And back in the day, depending on how old you are, it used to be called adult onset diabetes, but we don't do that anymore. We just say type 1, type 2. So what they mean is, so basically what they're saying is every time you eat something, right? Your body's job is to turn that food into glucose, right? So that's why people say glucose, right? So again, we're going to look something else up, okay? Just so we know everything, and we're going to be quick with these definitions, y'all. What is glucose? Because I want everybody to get this right. Because I know somebody that watches this video, somebody knows somebody that's diabetic. Somebody knows somebody that has died from diabetic, personally. My grandmother died from diabetes, type 2. So most people know somebody who has or had, and maybe the person that's watching the video is somebody who's dealing with diabetes, right? So again, as it says here, glucose is a simple sugar that serves as the primary energy source for the body. And so everything in your body requires glucose. Doesn't matter if it's an eyeball, doesn't matter if it's your heart, your brain, and your brain loves glucose. It uses a lot, but that's not what we're talking about today. Your muscles, your stomach, etc. So everything on your body uses glucose, and that's your main energy source for anything to happen. So I'm waving my hands here. That can't happen without glucose. Okay. So when we go back to the definition, so as it's saying, so whenever you see blood sugar is the same as saying blood glucose. It's the same exact thing. Blood sugar and blood glucose, the same exact thing. So over time, this blood sugar builds up in the body. And as it says, they're kind of getting into the problems right away. This stuff can damage your eyes, your kidneys, your nerves, your heart. And this happens because the pancreas doesn't make enough of a hormone called insulin. Okay. And this is where we start getting into the problem. So to explain this, here's the step. Step number one. Okay. Step number one. Okay. You eat something. So you see all my wonderful human food that we have, all my wonderful human food that you can see at the top of the screen. So let's say you're going to eat this apple right there, right? You eat an apple. And so when you eat that apple, there's carbohydrates in that apple. And so when those carbohydrates get into your bloodstream, that gives your body a signal to tell your pancreas to start secreting a hormone called insulin. So what I want you to think of insulin like some type of messenger, or think of it like a text message. Okay. And so when you eat the carbohydrate, your body gets a text message that gets sent, your pancreas gets a text message and it says, hey, we need insulin. Okay. My body needs insulin. And so what insulin does, as it says here, insulin helps glucose get into your cells. This is extremely important. Okay. And if you don't know, hormones, they travel via your bloodstream. And so that's what the main thing, when we get into how it kills here in just a second, that's the main thing to remember. Insulin and glucose, they travel through your bloodstream. So again, step one, you eat something, your pancreas gets a text message, and that message says, create insulin. And that insulin's job is to help energy get into your body parts, your cells. Okay, so if you have lung cells, the lung cells need energy to exchange carbon dioxide and oxygen. And if you have brain cells, your brain cells need energy to command and control stuff. Okay, so we could go on and on throughout the whole body. But the main thing to remember here is that your body needs energy and it has to get into your cells. And the way energy gets into your cells is with insulin. And the other thing to remember here is that insulin and glucose travel in your blood. So when I show you some pictures here in just a second, you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay. So so what I want to do is I want to show you, because I don't want to get into all this other stuff. Basically, this is what everybody hears all the time on commercials and stuff. They just go over symptoms, thirst and urine. They go over symptoms over and over again. Stuff like that. So I'm going to get into the causes in just a second. But what I want to do is I want to show you an image of, like you see, and what we have here in the images, these are blood vessels. And blood vessels, go check out my video from last week where I talked about tips for the healthy brain. And I broke down blood vessels a little bit better than I'm going to do today. But blood vessels are basically like, little tubes, right? And their job is to carry blood. And when they're healthy, right, what you'll notice in this image, the little yellow dots are going to represent glucose in this image. Okay, I don't know why they're spilling out here. I guess that's coming from somewhere else. But these little yellow dots, they represent glucose. Okay, so that's the main focus. So you have your two blood vessels, and they're representing glucose. I'm sorry, and then the little yellow dots are representing glucose. So when you're normal, you should have your red blood cells here. Looks like you got white blood cells here. I would imagine maybe this is platelets or something. In this diagram, who knows? But this is how it should look. Okay, you eat some food, your insulin should be able to balance out the amount of glucose or sugar that's in your bloodstream. But type 2 diabetics, their blood vessels look like this. And when your blood vessels look like this with all the glucose, there's too much floating through your bloodstream. Okay, there's too much. So if you've ever seen any of these shows that are popular now, where they're highlighting obesity, right? They're highlighting obesity. All of these 1,000-pound this and 600-pound that and quarter-ton this. All these different shows where they're following people and they don't eat anything like you see on the top of this screen. They just eat a bunch of junk all day. This is how their blood vessels look. Now, just because someone is not very, very large, that doesn't mean their blood vessels don't look like this. There's plenty of skinny people that are type 2 diabetics and their health is terrible. Okay? But the main thing to take away from this is, again, remember, you need hormones to travel through these blood vessels. Okay? And you need the insulin to travel through these blood vessels as well. And over here, there's too much going on. Okay? There's too much going on. And so what this ends up doing, and I don't have it pulled up, I'll probably look it up here in a second. But what this ends up doing and is it overstrains your kidneys. Okay? And so the biggest cause of death for diabetics is kidney disease or kidney failure. Okay? And so over time, and like I said earlier, unfortunately, my grandmother passed away from diabetic kidney failure. And when you have this much stuff, and we say stuff, we're talking about the glucose. It's too much because when you're eating processed foods, when you're eating dairy products, when you're eating animal proteins and things like that, they mess up the blood flow, the natural order of blood flow. But for now, we're focusing on glucose. And I'm going to show you another picture where the animal proteins and the dairy gets involved. So right now, think of this as I drink too many sodas. I eat too many processed sugars. I don't eat enough fiber-rich foods. Think of that right now, because when you don't have enough fiber, when you're eating too many processed sugars and artificial sweeteners and all that kind of stuff, processed sweeteners, not high fiber foods. When you're doing all of that, this is how your blood vessels look. Okay, so what I want to do real quick is I want to just briefly go over the role of your kidneys. Okay. And so as you can see right here, this is the primary function right here at the top. The primary function of your kidneys is the filtration of waste. And so many people don't think about the fact that when you go to the restroom, whether it's number 1 or whether it's number 2, that is a process of getting rid of waste. Okay? And so when we're specifically talking about the kidneys, they form urine. They help form urine. That's a waste product. So when you go to the restroom, you want to get rid of the waste. And you get rid of the waste by going number 1, aka urination. Okay? And so again, the primary function of your kidneys is to filter waste. So let's go back to the picture real quick. When you have a lot of glucose in your blood vessels, your kidneys are trying to filter out the excess. And so now your kidneys are looking at that excess glucose as waste. Okay? And so, again, the primary function of the kidneys is to filter waste and excess substances from the blood to form urine, removing toxins and maintaining a stable balance of salts and other substances in the blood. Okay? Now, if we were to type in, let's see if I can use let's go here real quick. All right. What is the main cause of death from type 2 diabetes? Okay. What is the main cause of death? Let's see. Okay, so this one, so now I got two different reports. Now this one is actually saying heart disease. And that actually makes sense as well. We'll get into that in a second. But normally it's this one right here. Okay. So yeah, so as it says here, diabetes is the leading cause of chronic kidney disease worldwide. And so again, when you're looking at trying to filter, you're looking at the fact that you're trying to filter all of this out of the blood, what happens is your kidneys, they give up. They wear out because there's too much stuff going through your kidneys all the time. Now, when you look over here to the left, your kidneys can handle that with no problem. Okay? But when there's this much extra glucose, extra waste going through the bloodstream over time, your kidneys are going to wear out. The next step is going to end up be dialysis. And the truth is, once you get to the point to where you're on dialysis, your survival rate is going, and I would like to know what that actually is. I'm curious. What is the, and I don't know this. Because when you go on dialysis, it's basically a machine doing the job that your kidneys are supposed to be doing, but you wore your kidneys out. Okay. So let's see. Oh, wow. I mean, I didn't even know this. Now, look, I want y'all to look at this because one more time, I want to go back here and I like to review just so everybody gets it. And then we're going to move on to the next topic and then I'm going to be done. Okay. But when you look here, your body is trying to filter out all of this waste. And again, your kidney's job is to filter waste, and there's too much waste, and the glucose is waste. You don't need excess glucose. You only need so much. So your kidneys are getting worn out. And when your kidneys stop working, the next step is dialysis. Okay? So since the next step is dialysis, and again, as it says here, just so we're all clear, dialysis keeps people alive when their kidneys can no longer function. Okay? Now look, 1 year, most people will live 1 year on dialysis. That's 88%. Not bad, but keep in mind there's 12% that don't make it. 3 years, now we're down to 70%, but that means 30% of the people are dead. The 5 year, there is a plummet here. 5 year survival rate, we're only looking at 35 to 40%. And it says some people live 10 to 30 years, but this is uncommon. So basically, once you end up on dialysis, you're needing a kidney transplant because you have worn your kidneys out so bad that they don't even want to do their job anymore. They have thrown in the towel. They have raised the white flag. And so many people wait until it's too late. Many people wait until it's too late to start changing their habits. Now, real quick, most people think that diabetes is about sugar and I can't eat sweets. It's sweets. It's sweets. It's sweets. And yes, that is part of it. That's why we just went over the first image where we said, hey, think of this image as sweets, sweets, sweets. Okay. But here's the other way that diet plays a role. So sweets. So we said the processed sugars, the sodas, the cookies, the cakes, the candies, all that artificial processed crap, that's a fast track to diabetes type 2. The other fast track is a diet that's high in meat or animal protein and dairy. And so before we do that, I want to scroll back up on my summary here, and we're going to go to the question that I asked the AI here, right? Yeah. So as you see the question that I asked, how does things like High cholesterol and high blood pressure cause type 2 diabetes. And as it says here, I'm going to read some of this stuff verbatim. Here's the clearest evidence. High cholesterol. Okay, so type 2 diabetes develops when the body becomes insulin resistant. Again, remember, when your pancreas can't keep up with the demand of glucose in the body, that's a problem. And again, your cells don't respond properly. Both high cholesterol and high blood pressure accelerate this process through inflammation, which means that there's swelling in your blood vessels. Everybody knows that they're sprained their ankle, or they hit their hand on the door, or slam their hand in the door or something, and it swells, it puffs up. That's inflammation. Good for short term because it's healing, bad for long term. So that's one of the ways your blood vessels are swollen, and now they can't deliver nutrients. Now your kidneys are not getting the nutrients they need. Blood vessel damage, same thing. Your kidneys need blood just like everything else, and now they're not getting the blood. Okay? So again, HDL, inflammation interferes with insulin signaling, making cells less responsive to insulin. So again, your cells can't even get the stuff they need because the blood flow is messed up. There's a problem with your blood flow. Okay? And so I'm not going to get into fatty liver disease. There's many, many different routes. My main focus here is on a couple of things. So the reason why I put this up here is to show you that a healthy blood vessel, a healthy artery, when it's sending blood and things through, it has no problem sending things where it needs to go. It gets rid of waste, no problem. There's no blockages. There's no problems at all. But when things start to slow down and get clogged, your pancreas doesn't get the blood it needs, and your kidneys don't get the blood it needs. And remember, blood carries oxygen, blood carries nutrients, blood carries hormones. Remember, insulin is a hormone that travels through your blood. Remember, we went over that earlier. So now when we get things slowing down, we have a problem. And that the result of that problem is type 2 diabetes. So again, we go back here, inflammation, okay, blood vessel damage, and we're messing up blood flow. So anytime you mess up blood flow, you're going to have a problem with your kidneys that filter, and you're going to have a problem with your pancreas, whose job is to create or generate insulin and send that signal throughout the body to help the energy get into cells. And when that doesn't happen, we start to have problems. Okay? And if we go over high blood pressure real quick, large epidemiological studies show that hypertension often comes before diabetes, and people with high blood pressure are significantly more likely to develop type 2 diabetes. How high blood pressure contributes? High blood pressure stiffens blood vessels. Stiff vessels reduce blood flow to muscles and fat tissue. Poor blood flow equals poor glucose uptake. You gotta have the blood flow. This is why we started this conversation talking about blood and hormones and all the stuff that travels through blood. When those blood vessels constrict and there's too much pressure, the organs, kidneys, pancreas that are involved in this whole process, they're not getting what they need. Okay? So that's a problem. Again, as it says here, hypertension and insulin resistance reinforce each other. Insulin resistance raises blood pressure. Okay? And high blood pressure worsens insulin resistance. So as these things keep fighting over time, everything is getting worse and worse. So how do we fix this? We have to lower our blood pressure. We have to lower our insulin resistance. And I guess the question might be, well, how do you do that? Now, before we do this, I want to do one more thing, and we're going to wrap up. Again, if this is your first time ever seeing me on a stream, I do this a lot. I fact check myself all the time. There's a lot of data in this brain, but I don't like to give my audience bad intel because this is life-saving intel. Okay, if you take this information and run with it, again, entertainment, educational purposes only. Okay, I put that in the description of the video also. Entertainment, educational purposes only. So don't come to me and say, this guy said, hey, look. Anyway, but how many people die annually from, and I'm very specific, I'm going to write in type 2 diabetes. Hundreds of thousands or something. I don't know. What is it going to be? What do we got? We got global. Oh, we got global deaths. Okay, 3.4 million. And there we go with that number. We talked about this earlier, that 95%, and I think it's high, it's even higher than 90. They're going to be type 2 diabetes. Okay, so 3.4 million on planet Earth. And I'm just curious, what is the number for USA? I'm just curious what it says around these parts. So it said all 95,000. I think that's lower. I've seen roughly 85,000. And the crazy thing is type 2 diabetes is preventable. So I want to know what the AI says. I'm not sure. I like to find out what information is out there, because we know the powers that be like to hide things. Is type 2 diabetes preventable? Let's see what it says. Now, I already can tell y'all the answer, but I want to know what it says. Oh, wow, it agrees. So here's the crazy part. You got all these people dying, but type 2 diabetes is preventable. What is the first word that it said? Absolutely? Wow. I didn't think it was going to say that. Okay. Absolutely. Is diabetes preventable? Yes. So we got an absolutely and we got a yes. Okay. Now, what does it say about the things we should do? We should make sure we reduce our body fat. We want to make sure that we exercise. Again, these are things we talked about. We want to avoid hyper. Now, here's what it doesn't tell you. Right? Here's what it doesn't do. This is why people get tricked up. And this is where we're going to end tonight's video. This is where people get tricked up, because if you were to do the same search that I just did, what you're going to focus on is you're going to focus here, which is good. We shouldn't be eating these things and drinking these things. We definitely should be getting plenty of exercise, right? We definitely should be reducing our body fat. We definitely should be getting our sleep. We definitely should be reducing our blood pressure. But it also says we got to lower our cholesterol. Okay? Now, here we go. What you got for me, AI? Does eating meat contribute to type 2 diabetes? Let's see what it says. Oh boy! Oh boy! And so for all them folks out there that be carnivore talking and all that stuff, I deal with research and data. Every hater that's ever came on my page, whether it be IG, Facebook, or YouTube, I don't care. I deal with data and research. And I also deal with the eye test and reality and common sense. Yes, eating meat does contribute to a higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes, and the evidence is extremely strong. Therefore, right off the bat, we know that we need to remove animal protein from our diet if we're trying to prevent type 2 diabetes. Let's do one more, because I'm not going to read all this stuff, because I'm ready to eat myself. And I guess what? When I get ready to eat here, it ain't going to be no animal protein. All right, here we go. Does consuming dairy, let's see what it says. Let's see if we can get the 2 for 2. Increase type 2 diabetes risk. All right, y'all see, I'm typing it in live. Oh, see, they say mixed. Ooh, it's mixed. Oh, no. Oh, it's mixed. Okay. Some dairy products increase type. Now, as soon as you see some, even though it's all, okay, you have to get my book for that, where I go over everything like that. But some dairy products increase type 2 diabetes risk. It tells you some of the ones, fermented dairy. Oh, they're going to tell you some of it. Trust me, folks. Trust me. All right. there's nothing good about consuming dairy products, all right, at all. Okay. But anywho, so long story short is we have dairy products increase risk, and we got eating meat increase risk. Now let's ask this. When I ask the AI this final question, let's see what happens here, y'all. Because one thing we got to learn about research is you have to ask the right questions. Okay, remember, diabetes is a $1 billion industry. There is no money in curing diabetes for the big pharmaceutical hospital folks, the doctors and all that stuff. Okay? And I'm gonna end this video with a crazy. Well, no, I'm not. I'm gonna go. I'll play that a different day. All right. What are the best foods to eat to manage blood glucose? Oh, keyboard. What are you doing? There we go. Let's see what happens. All right. Let's see what happens. All right. We got vegetables. All right. I bet you they're gonna put dairy on this list. We got vegetables and fruits are the first two. The next one is whole grains. Let's see how far we can go. Oh, we got legumes. Come on, top 5. I'm not gonna go past the top 5 because we don't need to go past the top 5. Oh, nuts and seeds. You know what? I need a soundboard. I need to play that horn. Bow, 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 right now. I need to play that horn right now. Look at the top 5 list of the best things that you can eat to manage your blood glucose and to avoid diabetes. Is non-starch vegetables, fruits, and we're not saying juice. That's why when you make your smoothies, you should put everything in there and drink the skin and everything. Okay, we got whole grains like oats and quinoa. We got legumes, beans and lentils and stuff, and then we got nuts and seeds. Wait a minute, we got healthy fats too. Top 6. Oh, top 7. We still haven't found one animal product. Oh my gosh, the whole list. The entire list is non-animal products. There is no cheese, there is no milk, there is no fried chicken, there's no steak, there's no burgers, there's no shrimp, there's no crab. We got barley, we got avocados, we got chia seeds, we got chickpeas, we got oats, we got apples, we have carrots, etc., 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 etc. Everything you see up here is part of the human diet. And when humans practice the human diet, they don't get things like type 2 diabetes. Anyway, that's it for me today, y'all. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel, like this video, share this video out to somebody that needs to hear this information. This information needs to get out to the world. So share this video out, like the channel, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter X for more amazing content at Human Diet Coach. All right, I am the Human Diet Coach, but my handle is Human Diet Coach. Just like it says, where's my hand? Right here. Hold up. Where is it? Right there. There it is. At Human Diet Coach. And then over there, hold up. Where's my other? There we go. Human Diet Coach. Bam. My fingers are dying it's hard to see which one I am on. Anyway, I'll see y'all next Thursday. And also, what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to put a link. I got to pull this one up. I'm going to put a link to a video I posted today. I'm going to put a link to a video I posted today about the power of hemp seeds. And so one of the other commonly incorrect thought process about eating plants is that you can't get protein. You can't get protein. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that in the comments here. Put that into the chat. And so I would encourage everybody to check that video out, because it basically breaks down the fact that there are more than hemp seeds is one of the best ways to get complete protein. Okay, chia seeds is another, but there are several different plant foods, and I cover these all in my book, which I hope to be, I don't say hope, it's going to be released in this spring. All right, I put it out in the universe. It'll be released this spring. We're putting the final touches on it. So I cover this more in my book. But again, check that video out and learn a little bit about hemp seeds. All right, signing off. Y'all have a great evening. I'll see y'all next Thursday. Be happy, be healthy.